Yo, what's good YouTube? Weathering Waves just dropped a post on Twitter revealing Yinlin's banner finally, since it's releasing tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. So I just want to go over the 4 stars and if they're worth it or not. As you can see here, the 4 stars are Taochi, Alto, and Yonwoo. And second off, this banner, bro, this character is so hot. I mean, I get why everyone saved their pulls for her. Anyways, back to the 4 stars. Overall, this banner, I will say, with the 4 stars is okay. Like, I don't think it's that great. Like, the best 4 stars in the game are probably like what, Donjin, Mortefi, like Sonhua, and it doesn't have like any of those three. So it's like most of the characters on this list are like whatever. Like Tao Chi, she's a tank, right? But she also does damage. In my opinion, people put her like she's the worst character in the game. In my opinion, I just don't think that's the case. I do think she's pretty good because on top of being a really good tank, like she tanks better than the 5-star tank in the game. She also does a really good amount of damage, even though that's not really important for later on because you're always gonna have your main DPS doing all your damage. But early on, that's quite nice to have. And like I was saying, her shielding and her her countering or parry ability is really good too. So overall, she's a solid 4-star, but a good amount of people in tier list do have her as like one of, if not the worst 4 stars. So I mean, do with that what you will. But do I think she's a character that's worth pulling on this banner for after you get to get copies of her, even before or after you get Yinlin? No, I don't think she's that worth, especially when there's other characters that you can use better than her, like Verena, who's a healer, or like I said, a 5-star tank, and Genshin with her, even though like I said she doesn't tank as good, she does other things on top of tanking that should make it more worth. Next is Alto. Alto's an arrow character, 4-star. He's okay. He's good for when you want to run with arrow teams, so like Gion. Once again, he's not like the best in slot because you have Mortefi and Verena. So overall, I wouldn't really use him because at the end of the day, most people are going to get Verena and Mortefi pretty easily, especially if you pull on Gion's banner. But if you didn't, he's a solid replacement to use instead, because with his outro skill, he gives you next ally arrow damage bonus, so it's good, but it's just not insane for now. In the future, when another arrow damage unit comes out, then he will probably be best in slot. But since Gion uses heavy attacks, Mortefi takes that role from him. So for now, he's not that great. But like I said, in the future, he could really pop off. But once again, is he a character, at least currently, that you need to pull for and get copies for? Once again, no, he's not great. And then once again, it's going to be the same thing for the next one. It's just like these 3 characters aren't really that great to get. Once again, if you want them, sure, get them. Right? At the end of the day, everyone, not everyone, but most, like 95% of the game is probably going to pull on Yinlin's banner because everyone wants this character. So you're going to get them probably either ways. But once again, like let's say after you get them, do you want copies of the characters? If you like them, sure, but if not, I don't really think they're worth getting. Which leads me to Yonwoo. He basically replaces Calcharo on the team of Yinlin's team if you don't have him, because the main team for Yinlin is going to be Calcharo, Yinlin, and Verena. So if you don't have Calcharo, then you can put Yonwoo in that place because they're both sub DPS, so they both work. But at the same time, we get them for free from Tower of Adversity. So if you don't want to get copies of him, then that you get him for free. But if you want to get copies of him, then sure, I think he's worth it if you don't plan on getting Calcharo. So overall, he's a pretty solid unit, and if you want to get copies for him because you don't have Calcharo, then sure, yeah, he's worth it. Overall, this is a pretty meh 4-star banner for this. Once again, for now, because like I said, Alto, when a future arrow damage unit comes out that's a main DPS or sub DPS, then he's going to be working that team. He's going to be really good. But because Gion uses heavy attacks, obviously Mortefi replaces him. But when another arrow damage unit comes out that doesn't use heavy attacks and needs arrow damage bonus, then he works perfectly in that slot where Mortefi goes in. And like I said, for Tao Chi, she's not very good and she's not going to really age well. She's already aging pretty bad, so especially with 1.1 releasing, I just don't think she's worth getting copies of. But once again, the other 2, like I said, if you know, so yeah, overall the banner's okay. If you want to get the characters, get them, obviously, but like I said, they're not very good. And I do want to go over her weapon banner real quick. Her weapon looks insane, by the way. I don't want to know what she does with that hand, but the first weapon you see here is the Jane Show Keeper. It basically gives her attack substats and gives her attack percent and HP percent when her intro skill is released. It is her 4th best in slot after her best in slot, the String Master, and then the other 5-star one, and then the Battle Pass one. So basically, if you're not able to get any of those 3, then this works too, because this is her 4th best. It's okay. It's not really anything special, but it gets the job done. So this is probably what I'm going to be running on her because my Encore has my Battle Pass one. So So the next weapon here is the cadenza. It gives energy regeneration for gun units, and basically once you use your resonance skill, it gives you some energy. It's okay. If you have a pistol unit that uses or that needs energy, then it's pretty good, but overall it's not very worth in my opinion, at least currently, because there's not really many pistol units that need that. The last one is the lunar cutter. It gives the person attack substats and basically gives them 6 stacks of attack percent, which can stack up to 12%. Once again, it's an okay weapon. It's not insane. If you have a sword user that needs a 4-star weapon, then yeah, once again, all these weapons are worth it. But I think overall, these banners, including the regular banner, it's just okay. It's not insane. It's not anything that's like, oh, I'm gonna need to pull this and that, right? Like with Genshin, we had Zhangling, Fischl, Jingshou, characters like that that were like insane. You need to pull for. Same thing with Starro. We had Pela and Tengyun and characters like that. It was, you know, it was worth it to get the pulls done, right? But with a game like this, I just don't see a world where it's like worth wasting your pulls on, especially when the next characters are coming out and their banners are probably going to be insane. So, and it's the beginning of a new game, so I wouldn't be surprised if a new 4-star comes out soon, and it wouldn't be surprised if they're insane. This isn't leaks. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, anyways, that's the banner. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you're gonna pull for Yinlin, and don't forget to like and subscribe.